Okay, we're gonna do an English walnut greenwood bud chip and bud graft. We're gonna use English walnut as our source, and we're gonna use black walnut as our rootstock. So the first thing we have to do is get some green scion wood, and ideally you want to get a piece of scion wood that's got some nice secondary buds on it. And I'm going to select this one, and I'll show you why as soon as I cut it off here. So this one's got some really nice secondary buds. This one here's, you can't even see it, it's so small. Look down in there, but like this one here, much bigger. It's a pretty nice secondary bud. That's actually a pretty nice one too, but these two are too close together. This will be a good one. I don't know if the camera can see that, but that'd be a pretty good one, so we might do two. So I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to just discard that. I'm going to take this one. That's going to be one. I'm going to hand that to my assistant. And I'm going to cut this off. Actually, I don't really need to do that. I'm just going to cut it up here. That's going to come off naturally when I shape it to graft. So now we're going to go over to our rootstock, is what they call it. And I'll get ready to graft this thing. I gotta get my knife out. I'm going to use the one my assistant has. And first thing I'm going to do is, this is a grafting knife. It's specific. It only cuts on one side. It doesn't have a cutting edge on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to shorten this up a little bit. First off, shorten that bad boy up. Okay. And what you got to do is you got to split this right down the center of it. And notice there's no pith in here yet. If this had developed a pith, we would not be using it, because it would not make a successful graft. And we're going to try to cut this as close to the center as we can. And this actually does have a pith in it, but it's not brown yet. So we're gonna go with it and try it. It does have a little bit of a pith. Can't really see it. It's still kind of white and clear. But we're gonna try to get this as straight as possible. It's still kind of curved. That's a little better. And then we're going to shave the outside of this off. We're going to expose that green under layer of cambium on both sides. Try not to get the oils from your hands on any part of the scion. This leaflet coming out here makes a good. I'm going to shave this back, grabbing the sides of it. That. Same thing on the other side. So I've got me a nice little chunk of wood there. Shave a little bit more of this off. The more contact between cambium layers you can have, the better chance you have of this thing surviving. So, green cambium layer in contact with green cambium layer. So this is ready to go. So I'm going to pick a spot on the tree, and you're going to outline this with your knife. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to try not to cut your finger, because it's easy to do. Alright. Good there. And this is where you usually cut your finger, because you're using your non-dominant hand to cut the other side. And I'm just gonna score it very lightly. Look at that. Move that out of the way. And then I'm gonna give it a good controlled score here so I can rip that bark back and expose the cambium layer here of this. So give it a good cut right in the middle. And it should be slipping still. A little late in the season, but it should still be slipping. And I decided to get a little visit from an ant. He won't hurt nothing though. Alright. Yep, slipped just fine. Just fine. Okay, so we got it. You can't really see it too much with the camera. Somehow, if you could though, you could probably see this green layer in here. And what we're trying to do is get that green layer to touch the green layer on our piece of scion. So we're gonna slip this in here like this. Actually, I'm gonna trim that up a little bit first with my nippers, because we don't need all that overlap. Again, you want to try not to touch the cambium layer as much as possible. I'm going to slide this in here first, up like this, here down like that. That's got a really good snug fit in there. See that? All right, now I'm gonna wrap it with grafting tape as tightly as I can. Absolutely as tightly as I can. And I did an experiment last time. Last time I wrapped this up, the leaflet, or the leaf, I wrapped it up with this too, on that one over there that died. And this isn't why it died, but it died because it didn't get good contact with the cambium layer. And then on this other one that survived, I just wrapped this in a plastic bag. And it survived. So I'm gonna just wrap this one in a plastic bag. Not just the leaf. This part I'm gonna wrap tight with grafting tape. And I'm gonna stretch it really good on here because I want it to be as tight as possible. I want really, really tight contact. Like, as tight as possible. So, and then you gotta kind of be delicate with this part, but you want this to be as tight as possible. Try not to break this limb off. It's actually a leaf, it's not really a limb. It will be a limb, eventually. Okay, we are getting pretty good here. Pretty good. Oh boy, oops. Okay, we'll be alright. Pretty good. Down one more time. This grafting tape is very, very cheap, so you don't have to, it's 99 cents a roll or something. Virtually nothing. But wrap that real good. We'll pull this out, stretch it a little bit, and then I'm gonna tie it off. Okay, pretty good, good enough. And then The last step is to cover this up real good with something. I have a bag I'm going to reuse from this other graft we did just a second ago. I got a couple pieces of my wife's whatever this is called. I dropped one, so I don't know where the other one's at, but we're going to cover this up. Actually going to trim this back a little bit, make it a little shorter, and it doesn't really hurt anything to do that. This is going to fall off anyway. If our graft is successful, this will either stay green or it'll turn brown and fall off. If it stays connected and turns brown, your graft died. So we're just going to wrap this bad boy up here. Just do it like this. Wrap it up. It doesn't have to be real tight. Matter of fact, you don't want it really tight, because if you wrap it really tight, you're gonna cause that to snap off. So it's better to kind of do this part a little bit loosey-goosey. And then twist that. That bad boy on there. That keeps some moisture in there. Gives that graft union a chance to heal. And then we're gonna put another one down here and do the same thing. And that's pretty much it. Wait 6 weeks, check it, see if it takes.